Now this is our Maschine JAM, and this is the view before we power it up. Now first I want to talk about these 8 by 8 pads. These are our click pads, and this is the main way we're going to get around on our Maschine JAM. Now these click pads work for scenes. You see here 1 through 8 represent our scene pads, and it also works with our group pads. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. These are our pads for our groups. And this is known as our click pad matrix display. It's for scenes and patterns and for the corresponding group. So have a group selected here. If a group is selected, these pads will work for that group. Let's power it up first and see what's happening here. Turn it on. And when it starts up, that's what we get. You'll notice that the song button is lit. We have the first scene is lit here, right? And it's blank here for this group. But here's the group. It's lit. Now normally we would see the different patterns here for the song, for this group. This shows us that it's empty. But you can see that this is displaying. If they were filled up, we would have more. Now we also have here our level. And this is the audio level, which is right here. And this is lit. So when we turn on, you'll see we have these 3 lit buttons. Well, we want to load something now. So to do this is pretty simple. We're going to go right here to our Browse button. And once we select Browse, you'll see on the computer a little browser screen will come up. Now, you know the browser is actually on the left-hand side in the software. But by pressing this Browse button, we open up this quick browse page right here. And we can use our D-link right here to maneuver in this window. So, for example, here I can go to the right or back to the left. And to actually get a choice, I can go to here to select, and I can use a knob, my data knob here, and select. For example, here's projects. Here we see all groups. We see all sounds. We see all instruments, all effects, and of course, all samples. I want to go to projects, and I can probably scroll down. So I press the down button on my D-pad right here, of course. And now you can see it says Machine. Get my Machine products, my Machine projects right there. And I'll hit it one more time. It goes to type. I can select the type of projects. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm in projects. But what I want to do is probably move my cursor to the left. And I want to scroll down to a project. So I use my data wheel here. And I can scroll to a project. And here's a Maschine JAM example. And this is from Native Instruments. To load it, I'll just press this button right here, which is the data wheel, and just push it in. And now it'll load the project up. And once it does, you'll notice something here. As it takes its time to load, that we're going to see the click pads fill up. Okay, now that we've loaded, you're going to see that we have each group a different color. And you can see that. We know that H is not a filled group, right? And you can see here that the A bank has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patterns. The B bank has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C has 4, and D has 4. E has 3, and F has 3, and G has 1 pattern. Now on top here, we see the number of, right here, scenes. And of course, song is still lit here. And of course, we have volume lit right down here. Now, if you look on the software, which you'll see the same thing, you'll see here This is 808 Southern Kit. And if I click right here, we see all 6 of those patterns that belong to that group. If I click right here for the B bank, we have Carrot Cake Kit. We click here, we have 5 patterns. And the same also for C. Right, there's 4. And we have D for the bass, and so on, as you can see it. So the Maschine JAM helps us see that, which you normally wouldn't see here within the software unless you're doing what I'm doing right now. So go back to here to our first group, which is our 808 Southern Kit. And we see the actual parts for that kit, how the pattern works out. And here we have our scenes as well, which is 1 through 7 scenes you see right here. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different scenes, right? But you'll notice here that, click back to here. You'll notice here that just this one scene here is clicked on, and we have loop clicked here to play. So before I even play with this, I want to show you one more thing. To check our master volume, I would go here, and I select that button, and now our master volume has been selected. And I can go here to my knob and sort of turn it down. And you'll see in the software that I'm actually turning it down. Let me turn to the software and you'll see it right here. Whoops. Right here you'll see this button is going down. This little triangle there. I'll go up and I go down, right? So I'm actually controlling that. And this is important for you if you're starting out with your Maschine JAM you don't want to play the speakers. You want to keep everything cool, right? And to press play, I can press play here on the machine, but I'll press play in the software. It's just showing the top half of the Maschine JAM. And we can play it. We'll press stop. And that's that first part playing, as you can see, obviously. Now, what you'll also notice here is that I can go here and click 2. And as I do, you see how it affects the scenes right here, right? Let's go to 3. I'll click scene 3. And that's scene 3. And I'll just keep clicking them, and you can just keep watching what's going on the software, right? So obviously, when I hit those scene buttons, they go to that corresponding scene. So here we are now in song mode, and these are the patterns for that particular song for A, B, C, and D. So I can go to step mode, and I would see patterns here for any particular pad I've selected. But I'll go back to song mode. I want to go to pad mode first. And here in pad mode, as you can see, I can hit the pads, and the sounds are right there for any pad I hit. And you'll also see a volume meter right here. So the volume shows up right there on our strip right here. Volume level right there. Now, this button below song is called step. If I go to step, we'll now see the step for this sound. And you'll notice now we have this light and this light lit up. Now these 2 lights on top are not indicating the placement of the scene. They're indicating the measures. This is 2 measures long right here, this sequence, for this pattern, for this bank. All right, and you see the first pad is lit here. That represents this. Now, this is the first measure. That's the second measure. Notice how these have changed. These lights are changing right there as I click back and forth. This is step, and that means I can come back in here and add more drums if I wanted to. And if we look on the software, we'll see we have more percussion sounds for the 808 Southern Kit on sound slot number 3 here, which is this hi-hat, closed hi-hat for 808. So I go right here, click on this, And as I do, we now see the placement of where these hi-hats are in the first measure. And I'll click here, and that's the second measure. Seems the same, right? And I can go to here. Let's say I want to go to here. And that's the snare drum. I see none. I'll do a play start. We'll press shift and we'll press play. And we see nothing at all, right? I'll press play to stop. Now what I could do, I can come back and I can go, well, I know that, as you can see, let me do this again. You'll notice here, there's a little line going through here. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, right here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And so you get the idea. But that little line that goes through is showing us where we are at a certain point in the song or in this actual pattern as that line goes by, that little light goes by there. So I know this is 2. So I'm going to snare drum like on this 2, this is 4, and this is 2, and this is 4. And now I'll play it back from the top. 3, 4. See that? And then you'll notice here also, we see the light for group B, and this is for group A. I can add more snares than some in this last one. I want to go maybe here's 1 and here's 2. I can take them out. I can also just press record too. I can just take them out too. If I don't like them, I can go back and I'm still in step edit. Okay, so now I'm going to show you from the software. It's the same thing pretty much. I'll just press play start here. You see it's going by. If you look on the jam, you'll see that's going by measure. And same here. I can just insert drums here. I can click in here. And add more drums if I want. And undo that. I'll press the undo. Here we've undone it. So it's a pretty simple process. So now, as you can see, of course, we've got everything up here for that one song, the Maschine Jam example. And I'll press play here. Now it's only playing the first scene. I can go to here and play the second scene. That's the second scene. I'll play the third scene. And of course the fourth scene. So as you can see, of course, I'm hitting scenes and just playing them back. So I'm going to go right back to here. Got my first scene going on there, right? And I can press stop here. Now what I can also do is just play back any one of these different patterns that I see here on Maschine while the sequence is running here for all these scenes. So let's say for this one scene, I may want to switch patterns. So I can go to here, and I might just go to here and just press play. I may just want to change in here this pattern. This one's lit, so I may want to change this one. The top one's lit. Or go back. Just a second to switch up my patterns and change different patterns to get a better idea. And this is really great to experiment and see which patterns will work with your flow. And this is what's so cool about Maschine, actually. It's right there in front of you rather than having to push an extra button on the Maschine Studio, the Maschine, or the Maschine Mikro, it's right in front of you, one button push, and you have all your patterns up to view at the same time. It's really cool. And I can also do, if I want to, I can go to this one here. Now this one plays after that last one ends, and then experiment with this one. Which makes it much, much easier to work with. Let's play this again. We'll stop, we'll press Shift, play start, and we're playing it from the top again. Now what I can also do here, which is kind of cool, I can just hold this solo button down, which is right here, and I can go in and just solo anything up, right? Then get out of solo, and we're back again. Now once I press slow down, you'll see, you notice that everything else here is like pretty much out of it, right? And I go back to here. I can press mute down. I can mute some stuff out, and then put it back in. I'm still holding the mute button down. Okay, and I'll put this in. Take the bass line out. And then bring the bass line back in. And they're all playing still. So I can solo and mute while in song mode any one of my groups. I just need to hold down the solo and do it. So you can do a lot of really cool functions in experimenting with your song, your scenes in your song, and get an idea of what's going to work between your patterns and soloing and muting. It's kind of a cool feature on Maschine Jam. So right here underneath song, we have step, pad mode, clear, and duplicate. And this is our note input section. Now this section provides access to all note input features that are displayed within this 8x8 click pad matrix of our project view, okay? For our project view. So here, whenever I click here, I can see the steps, right? In this case, I can go to here, I can see the pads, and then let's say I've got the space drum I did before, I go there, and I go back here, and I can see the steps for that drum. So if I go back, and I pick another one, I'll see this here, or that. And that's in step. Now, I can also access other features here. So you'll see it says step, but it says piano roll on top. This says pad mode, but keyboard on top. It says clear auto. And this says duplicate or double. And also you'll see here, right above the top 8 click pads, undo, redo, quant for quantize 50%, semitone minus, semitone plus, octave minus, and octave plus. And all I have to do is actually press shift. So I can come out here, and I'm going to press shift right here. If I press shift right there, let's check this sound out first. Good, the bass sound. And I'll press shift and I'll click here. And now I get piano roll. Now piano roll is kind of unique in a way that you see these lit pads here? This represents the root note. All right? So here I'm in C. And these represent the other notes within the C scale that I'm using. So it skip all the other keys, but only the notes that are C in this scale. I'll explain more of this later on as we go along. I just want to get you introduced to it, but you see, I go to here and there, we would have that right there. And see the same thing here on the software too. If I click those pads, you'll see it right there, here, and here. Right? I'll add one more here. And you'll see it right there on top. Added a note right here. Right there. Nope, there's a note right here. Right there. So you can add notes in here in piano roll. I can leave piano roll and go back to step mode, and I'm right there. Now pad mode here, Here's the pad mode. And you can see here there's only one sound for this D group, and that's that sound right there, right? Of course, we see the audio input right here as it rises. You can tell us where we are. And next, what we want to do is I want to go back here and press Shift and see the keyboard. I go to here, and now I'll see the keyboard. And see the keyboard right there, so I can press play. Let's press stop. I go back to song. I'm going to press pattern number 4. Yep. And we want to hear this one right here, and press play. Hear that pattern right there. Now I'll go back to solo, and then I'll go back to Shift and press keyboard mode. So I press Shift, hit pad mode, it comes to the keyboard mode here. And you see the notes that are being played. Right here. Then back to the octave, to the root, there's the root note. Right back here. So next here, I want to look at the clear and the duplicate. So let's see, I'm going to go here and I've got a pattern. I want to go to solo first. Let me do this first. Let me solo. And I want to solo this one. And press play. And we can see it here, of course, the audio's coming up here on our track right here, number 2. And so that's the sound. And let's say I want to clear it. So I can go to here. Matter of fact, let me do something. Let's duplicate. Let's go to here. And I'll press duplicate. And see it's blinking. Now where I want to duplicate it at, I'm going to duplicate it right here. Put it right there. And now you'll notice on the software that now pattern number 5 is the same as 4. Now if I want to get rid of that, I can go to clear, press clear, just like that. And now it's gone. Now 4 is there. I can go to here. I can say duplicate this one. And put that one right there. It's right there now. You see it's lit. Go back to here. Let's press stop. Now, this is a great way for you to duplicate a pattern and then go back in and sort of change it and have a variation on a separate pattern. So I can clear and duplicate. And I can also clear auto. And here I can actually not just duplicate, but double by pressing Shift. I can clear auto, and I can also double. So in this lesson, we're going to use the Maschine JAM example that you'll see in your projects folder. And here I have Maschine running. And we're going to talk about the level meter section. That's right here. So I'll press play. And now we see an output happening right here, right? That's our audio output. So if I press the MST button, that's the master output. I can come here, lower level down. It controls the entire audio level for the master output. Pretty simple. Now I'll press stop here. Now I can also control the groups. I can select the group here. I can go B, C, whatever. I'm going to go A. And A is my drum group here. And here we'll see the different outputs for it. Different sounds for that group. I'll go to here. I'll select group. I can turn it down. You can hear it came down. And to really emphasize, I can go press solo, hit the group, playback, and then bring the group down. Hit solo again, my group's back in again. I'll press stop. Now my next button here I want to talk about is this input 1 and input 2. And I'm going to go back to the software now. And here on the software, what I have to do is select my input. So for example, I'm going to go here to the E group and select the Paradise Birds here. And then I'm going to go to Preferences. I can get the preferences from here, little triangle, go to File, Preferences are right there, go right to the top again here on my Mac. I can go to where it says Machine here. I have preferences right here too as well. Once I pull up, the same window comes up here. And this window here is my audio window. And general window, and MIDI, and default, right? So I want to go to audio. And here in audio, we see we have 1 and 2. And the microphone that's plugged into my computer, because I'm using built-in audio on the core audio. I'll go to here, I'll select 1 and 2. And now we have my audio coming in. The audio sounds bad, it's not set up for that, but this is just for demonstration. I'll go back to none to get rid of that really awful sound. And I'll come back here to File, we'll select Preferences again. And this time, back to audio, we want to use Maschine in 2, left and right. So the top one says 1 left and right. So I'm going to come here and select microphone. Then I come here again and select microphone right. So see, it's not here. I only have just the ability to use it for the 1 and 2 or here, left and right. Now, I'll press OK. And now I come here, I go to 1 and 2. 1, I'm left and right, we hear nothing. If I go here and I go to input 2, and I go left and right, now we hear it. So that's how we use or get our input into Maschine. Now, commonly you may want to use, I guess, a turntable or have a guitar player or a vocalist come by or whatever. You're going to sample in or record in or use an audio input along with the track. You'll normally just go to there, your preferences, and you can also go here to audio, and you would just select, let's say, the input. Use input 1 or left and right, and you're there. I can go back to here. My microphone would be here. This would be here. And once I hear it, I want to get rid of it, and I go back to here. Now this input that we see here where it says input left and right can be used for your input device. Now in this case, I normally use this device here, and this is like my complete Audio 6. And this is Q right here, right? It's like the little headset right there. I'll press play here, and we see we have nothing, right? Nothing appears here at all. So I'm gonna go back over here. Matter of fact, let me go back in here to my master and bring this down somewhat. Yeah, good. That's my cue, right? So we know that's happening. It's on like that. And now, let's go back to the software. I can go to here, my mixer, and you'll see here we got a little headset there, right? So I can go to here, right? And this is the cue. And you'll see also now that level appears here. I'm showing that bass drum, and that's my cue feed right there. I can also select anything else. And they're all selected. I can bring them down. That's the cue. So here we have a song up, and this is our Maschine Jam example from the projects folder, and we have level selected, right? So I'll press Shift, play start from the top, and of course we see these lights light up here, and that's for the volume of a selected track, of course. Now, we have perform here, and this is an effect applied to groups, not sounds, but the groups. I can click right there, and you'll see here the volume levels are gone, and now we have just sort of like 3 or 2 lights per touch strip lit. Now watch this. So this is a stutter effect on here, which is a perform stutter effect. I can change that beat by using the perform effect. Now I can go to here also I may want to just press solo and then hit the group, right? And you can hear it now. Right? I'll press solo again. I'm back to where I was at. I can go to here. So I'm applying the stutter effect on this track for the drums. But when I actually let go of my touch strip, it goes back to the original setting that was already set up for that drum kit or whatever group that is going to be in your group slot in your range view. Now here, for example, we got a sound over here. Let's say we go back to this. Right? All we see is that. So we know that's already solved. We're going to back here. Everything's back in. Here's the sound here. That sound's right there. I go back to perform. What is this effect? I may want to use it. I'll go to solo and select the sound. Okay. So you get the idea. Those are perform effects. From here inside the session, we can see the perform effect. Now you'll notice here we're on the 808 Southern kit, and up here in our control section we have master, group, and sound. Now in sound, I can select the plugin here, and then I want to add a plugin. You'll notice here we have internal. As I scroll through here, we do not see the perform effect plugin, nor do we see it here in the native instrument plugins. But if I go to group here, you'll see it's already selected right there. If I go here and select again, you'll notice here in internal, we can only have one instance of it in our group, just one time. And you'll see here under native instruments, plugins, we do not see perform effect. And it appears right here. And that's the effect I was using. Now you'll notice here it says stutter. And that's the stutter effect I used on the drums in that last lesson. Also, you'll see the length here, of course. And this is length. And it says TS assign. That's our touch strip assign. So I can assign it to length or I can assign it to pitch. So as I use the touch strip for the 808 Southern kit, I'll be able to change the pitch now, which is right here. If I go back to here, let's change it to length now. The pitch goes back over here. Now you'll see the same thing here in the other groups that I used. This is the flanger that we use for the carrot cake kit right here. And then we'll see it here for the hard fist kit right here. You can always change these too. You can go right here and you can select which of the effects you want to use from a perform effect plugin. You have filter, flange, bust echo, reso echo, ring, stutter, tremolo, and of course a scratcher. It's that easy. So you can see here I can apply it here on some of these. On filter, we can do it here. Flanger, we can do it, engage it right there to engage it. And you'll also see it, if you go over here, we'll pick a plugin, I'll pick, let's say, a bank here of the groups, which is A. You'll see here's a stutter effect. And this is the effect. And that's how it works for our Maschine 2 using our perform effect with the Maschine Jam. Now next I want to show you here is, I'm going to press shift and I can press the perform button. And now you'll see on my computer screen that we can select the perform effect we want to use. You can hear we have the stutter, tremolo, scratcher, ring, reso echo, burst echo, flanger, filter, and that's everything right there. So you can select what you want to select for that particular group. Now in this case, I'm right here, so I'm on the drum group. And I guess I'll stick with what I got there. I'll press enter. Once I do that on the encoder, it's set for that particular group. Now next, we have here the next button below that is our note button. I press note button. You notice my screen has changed here. These are for notes. So I want to select, first of all, I want to select a sound I want to use. Let's try this sound here. That's the bass sound. And that's pretty loud. Sort of bring this master down. See, pretty cool. Yep, bring it down a little bit more. There you go. I can change the pitch. So this is like, so these are notes, obviously. I just need to select a sound, so I can come back to here. Now let's change the parameters for the notes. So I've got notes selected here. I'm gonna put it down. You'll see if I push it down, then I pull away, you'll notice that that browser is gone. So I'll go to here and I'll push down, and now it'll stay. Because I push down, now I have the ability to select the note value. In this case, this is guitar mode. We have chords also, and we have user mode. 3 different modes there. So here in guitar, I can, like a guitar, pluck your notes out. And here also, I can do chords. And then I'll push the button down one more time, my encoder. I'll turn it over to the right. And now I can select the root note of the scale. Of course, I can just push down again and select any note I want to select for the scale. Push down again, go to my next parameter, and that's minor. So the type of scale, right? I'll push down again and select the type I want to use. I can have a minor scale, a harmonic minor, a major pentatonic, a minor pentatonic, blues scale, Japanese. Everything's here. It's obvious, right? I'll push down again. Then we have mode. And here we have mode. It's harmony. So I can select the 1, 3, 5 chord type. It's pretty simple. So that'll allow me to select the type of scale and chord that I want to use here in note mode. Push it down again, and you'll see here let's say you want to just lower the sound. It's pretty simple too. You can just go back here to browser, select your group, so I do right there. I can select the sound, but what I want to do here is go to here, and then I want to scroll over to the top. Actually, go to the top first. Now I want to go here to select the instrument. Yeah, I like Alicia Keys. This keys looks pretty good. I'm going to, I want to do that, and I want to use this to go over here. And I like that. I want to go here to enter. And now it's going to load that sound onto this group. And you'll see it appear right there as dry. Right? Move my cursor so you can see it right here. This is it right there, dry. And now I can press notes again. And it's a chromatic, so it's a chord type. I'm going to push down here, and I'll select minor. Right? And then and they're all in octaves. Right down. Now the next button I want to show you here is this button right here, which is lock. And what lock allows us to do is to create this sort of snapshot. I can get up to 64 different snapshots. And with each snapshot, it'll contain every modulatable parameter in the project. So I need to sort of turn the volume up or actually add more tuning here or something. It'll remember that snapshot I have for that particular moment. And I can use it later on in the sequence or in a track or with the overall output or something. I can include that, which means I can include solos and the mutes for audio levels and the volumes. And this is kind of cool, particularly when you want to bring something back up. Let's say you're doing a live mix. You can just hit your snapshot and bring that back up. We'll cover this later, more in this series. I want to get you familiar with the basic operation first. Now, next, below that we have tuning. So here I press tuning, and you'll notice on the software, it says tune. If I move my hand, it sort of like just goes away. So I'll press tune. Then I go to my encoder wheel right here and I'll click down, and now I can tune. Now you see there it says tune sound, and the next option is group. I can select the sound or group. So let's play this track back a little bit from the top. Okay, I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to make sure we solo one thing here. Okay, good. We've soloed out these drums. Okay, great. So I'm going to tune now. So I got to put the pad mode here. I can go to this sound here. Let's say, for example, that sound. You see it's selected now. And then I've got tuning open. Tuning right here. I'll go down further. Hear it getting lower there? You hear it better like that. So I'm tuning that clap up. Get it right back to where it should be. And that's that clap. I can go here to the hi-hat. Press down. I'm tuning the hi-hat. That's where it was at before. I press down, leave it alone. And once I do, that box goes away. That's how I can tune sounds. I can also tune an entire set. So let me pick another sequence here to deal with. Okay, we got more drums here, this one. So I'm going to go back here, I'm going to press tune. And then I'm going to select the group, press my encoder down, and I want to tune the entire group. So I'm going to tune the entire group. Tuning it up, then tune it back down. And there I am, back where I started from. I'll press solo and then press the A group, and now we get everything back. That's how we can use group. Now next thing I want to talk about is the swing, changing swing values. So I go to swing here. It's pretty much the same almost as the group as well too. I can go to here, as I did before with the tuning, and I'm here in the swing value, setting swing. I hold it down, and I get the little box here. It tells me I can do the swing on the master, which is already 20% swing. We can do the group, which is 0, and the sound, which is 0. So I'll pick the group here just for us to exaggerate what's going on. And we have the A group selected right here. As you can see, it's well lit. And next, what I want to do is press play. Now go back here to swing, select my group. So changing it down, it's kind of weird. See, it's cutting off some spots. Let's slow it actually. Sounds weird. So I'm gonna go back here to my swing value, press swing. I see it's right there. I'm gonna bring it back down to reality, which is 0. Control button. So when you select control, you'll notice on the software that our control section has been accessed. Now I'm gonna press auxiliary, then go back to control. See that? So it works pretty good. And what happens here is, as you can see here, there are some up and down levels here, as you can see on these touch strips. And they represent what you see in the control section. So for example, we see main in the middle there. And this is for the stutter effect, right? So I can also just go up to here and change that to a different effect. So let's leave it at stutter. Let's play the track back. And then we're going to solo. Take all the drums out. It's my drums, right? Solos, I'm going to go back up here. I can just change stuff here, right? And change any one of these settings here. And this is for the perform effects. So if I change this, for example, and I go to here, and I go to say perform effects, here's my effects perform right there. Then this actually, see what's happening here? I'm changing the frequency on the ring. Took that off. I'm going to go back here, and I think I'll press Control again. Now here in Control, I'm going to select a different. Let's try this echo. I'll press Perform. So I've got this reso echo going on here in the track. All right. So as you can see, it's a pretty cool way to work live pretty much. So I can go back here to Control. And if I want to, I can press another parameter to actually attenuate, but you can obviously see that's kind of cool having the control and selecting my values. Now also, below that, where it says Metro and Loop, you have these two arrows pointing to the left and to the right. This goes to the next page. So go to page there, that's my next page, and the parameters that are in the control section. That's page 2, and here's page 1. That's how I get over there, as you can see. Let's press play to stop that, and that's how we can use our control. Now next, here we have auxiliary. So sometimes I'll make an auxiliary send. I may have a particular sound being sent to one place or the other. So to access it directly from the Maschine Jam, it's pretty easy. We want to go to auxiliary, and here we're in auxiliary 1. Now I can just go on this touch strip right here, and I'm changing the level for auxiliary 1 right there. If I press the shift button, and then press auxiliary again, I'm able to increase the audio level of auxiliary 2. That's kind of cool. And of course here we have our volume levels. I'll press shift and play start. We see the volume level now for the only track available that's soloed, which is our drum track. I'll go back to here, I'll press solo, and everything else plays all at once. And we can see the levels of all our groups that are available. I control levels, of course. Bring it down. I can adjust my levels in the mix. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Yep. And go to here. Right there. And get a different sound. I'm going to bring my bass down to a little bit. And press stop. So we can control our levels, the auxiliary, and we can also control the control section. Now, the last button here, along with this touch strip section, is the macro button, right? And you see once I depress that button, you can look on the software here, and we have parameters to attenuate also. So see we have ice mix there. Let's play this back. So I can just hit the first pad. I'm adding to ice mix to the drums. I bring it back down somewhat. I can get the ice size. Then do this. Then turn my size. Change the size of the ice. I have lo-fi. Reso. My flange. More effects here. The flange right there. I'll bring it back down to reality, and here I am again. So it's a cool way to actually change almost every parameter in the control section by just using our control to get to the control section. The auxiliaries here. Get my levels out. Now here we have solo. I have to hold down solo in order to solo an instrument. So we'll press play. Press play here. And I can solo that, or solo the bass line. We'll solo that part. Now once my hand comes up, that solo is no longer active, so I can click anywhere else. It still remains a soloed group. Press solo again. It unleashes everything else. They're all out there. Just lets everything play all at once. And I can also go to here, I can mute. So I can hold mute down, but it must be held down. It's a temporary thing that I can do here. And so there, I'm able to mute groups. Perfect. Nothing to it, all good. So, here it comes right there. So, next, I can also go back here, and I could mute a group. So I'm gonna go to pad, press pad mode here. I'm gonna select this group. That's the group I want to select. I'm gonna play back the pattern again. I can see which notes here are being used. The active notes sort of come up brighter. I'll go to mute. Let's mute stuff here. Let's do this. Now put it back in. Now that's back in. That's how I can mute sounds within a group by selecting the group, of course, and selecting the pad mode, or I can just mute a group separately or solo that group. Now, of course, we can press play to play from the start by pressing Shift and pressing the play button. And now, after pressing these two buttons here, that's cool. So I'm going to press Shift again, and I can press the counting. Turn this off, Shift, and this is the counting. It gave me a counting into the sequence. So when I got there, I was able to at least, start to record on a separate brand new track or overdub record. Now, sometimes I may just want to use 2-bar counting, right? So I would press Shift, and then you're going to press Record. And once you do, you'll have this overlay on top of your software screen of some new parameters. And these are our metronome parameters. So you can see here, this stays pinned, it stays open. Once I select the Shift and the grid, it stays open. And I can use this to change the metronome, the time value. I can also change the record. So I can click down, I could hear the metronome and record, off totally, either way, right? That's on. I can also change the counting bar length. I want to go to here, I want to do 2. Good. And next I'll just press that grid button. It's gone. And we'll press Shift, counting. 2 bars now. That's how we can change our counting value. So sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't, depending on that. So here also we have metronome. So if I press Shift, I have metronome right here. So I'll press play. Now the metronome's on. I'll press Shift and press metronome again. And the metronome's off. Now you notice also that once I do press one of these sections here for our song form, we want to press one scene or another scene, or press a couple of scenes. I'll press one scene. It'll play back as a loop. And as you can see here, on the arrow pointing to the right, it says loop. And so I can turn the loop off too. And now you see it's off. I'll press play from here. And now we're playing it back, and it's off. So it's just going to keep continuing to play to the next scene. I can stop that there, we'll just keep going. So to bring it back to the top, I just press Shift, play start, play it from right there. I can press stop here, put the loop back on, and then press play start. That way I want to maneuver to a certain area, I can keep the loop on, or turn it off, go back to the beginning, see how it sounds, and automatically go right back to the loop section. It's kind of cool to do. Let's Press play to stop this. And next we have our tempo right here. Right, this is our tempo. So I can just press this button in. And you'll see we have the overlay here again, and this is for our tempo. It's pretty simple. We have our encoder here. And we see to turn the data wheel here, this encoder. And we can change the tempo. Let's play it to demonstrate for you. And that's real fast. It's real slow, obviously. And then here, I can get back to 120. Pretty simple there. Press stop here. I can also tap my tempo in. Let's turn the tempo overlay off. Let's try to tap a tempo in here. Let's see now. I'll just turn this on. I'll press shift. Oh, there you go. So I just tapped the tempo. I held the shift down and I tap the tempo right here. And just tap that tempo in. Now if I want to get it right back, I'll just go back to here. I'll press shift. I'll just press tempo down rather. And then I want to get back to near where it was at. Right here is good enough for me. And that's so I can change my tempo. I can tap it in. Turn that off. Now one more thing I want to show you, which is the pattern length. I can change that. So I'm going to get rid of that tempo overlay. And here we have a pattern that's approximately just 1 bar long. So to change the pattern length, I can press shift and make sure that pattern's in pattern mode, pattern 4. I'll press shift here and I'm going to press pattern length. Now this gives me my length here. So this tells me that that one pattern is 1 bar. I'll select this one right next to it. Now you see what happened? It created an extra bar for that pattern number 4 for the 808 sound kit. I go to 3 and I can do 4. See that? I can go on and on. But this is how I would change the pattern length for a pattern. And then I can start to record on it too. So it'd be kind of cool. Or I can just go back to here. Just click the button ahead of the other one. And now you'll see right there, we're back to the same length we had originally. And that's how we change our pattern length. And I'll just go to here and we're out of that. And press play from the beginning. Yep, that's how it works. Let's start from the top. Okay. I want to go over a feature that's pretty cool that we have here. And that's the ability to pin something, which is on all the machine devices. And it helps you get a little extra something out of a particular button or knob. So we know that if I press play start, just play right there where we are. And we head into this area of muting. So I'm muting stuff. I pull the button down, my hand comes up, and now it goes back to regular, right? Or I can go to here, to solo, and then go to here, then come back out, then everything comes back on. I can also pin the mute down. So to pin, we have to hold down the mute button, and then I'll select the song button, which on top says PIN. And then now you see this is held down permanently. So I can go back to here. I can just mute stuff now much faster. Then easier, faster. I can put the drums right in here. Then everything else back in. So it makes it much more easier to practice and get the kind of mix you want to get and see how it sounds. And you can also pad your audio output. So here, stop this for a second, and we have level here. And if I hit level, we see the levels of the groups right here, or the selected audio output of each instrument within the group. And we also can use the shift button to press here, and now we turn it into panning. You'll see now the white dot that goes on the middle, the light in the middle, and we can pan the instrument. So let's go to play, start. Matter of fact, let's solo something. That's the shaker. And now we're just panning it from left to right. Let's see. Let's go to here. And I can pan each instrument where I want to pan it to. It's pretty cool. Get it back, just want to bring it back in the middle. And bring my drums right back in the middle again. And I'll stop it. Now I've got this blank brand new session going on right here. And what I want to do next is I want to record, but I want to browse for at least a group. So I click the browse button. I've already got it set up or ready to load it up. We showed you earlier how to do this. So I'm going to load this in. And once this loads in there, I'm going to press my pad bank. And now I want to look at what I got. Pretty loud, so I'm going to go back here. I'm going to bring it down. That's much better. And now I'm ready to go. So I want to check out one thing first. I want to make sure my note repeats right. I may want to use this sometime, so I don't think I'm going to go that fast. So what I'm probably going to do is press note repeat down, and then I'm going to go in here and push that in. I'll use eighth notes for now for my note repeat. I want to make sure everything is set here for how I like to have it. It's pretty good. There you go. And let's check the unit. And normal's good. Then I'll stop the note repeat. Now before I start recording, I want to make sure that I have the right size of my sequence for this pattern, which means I need to know how many bars are going to be here. So in order to get the right number of bars, what I have to do here, I'm going to click here, and that gives me like a 4-bar sequence or patterns you can see right there. And I can go to shift and I can go to pattern length. And once I get that, I can change the length of this pattern. So I may just only want to have just 2 bars for this pattern. And as I do, you see it happen also on the software. So now I have 2 bars for a pattern, and I can start playing on these 2 bars. So what I want to do next is look at my pattern length here. Yep, that's right. And I want to look at the record mode next. Here's my record mode. Okay, good. In record mode, I've got a metronome going on. So I want to make sure my metronome's playing, and I'm going to set that up right now. I want to use record mode next. So I'll press shift, and the grid button at the top, it says rec mode. So I go right here, I've got record mode. Now I want to make sure my metronome is going to be loud enough, of course. So we'll go here first. That's pretty good for me. Then I want to make sure what the metronome's time value will be. This is quarter notes. Tick, 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 tick. That's 1 bar. So 4. That's right. And we have record auto on. So that means when I go to record, I'll hear the metronome. I have several options here, either off or on for record mode. Then we have a 2-bar count in. And I want to make this 1 bar probably, like that. And quantize. I want to quantize when I record, But I'm going to quantize without it and show you why we have to. So we're going to go right in here, and we'll turn quantize to none. I can also quantize and play and record. Okay, as we told you before about this parameter. But now, that's enough for me for right now for that. I can go to here, and let's say I want to record something. I want to make sure I got my pattern mode going on. And I'll go to here, and let's from here. Okay, as you can see, I'm hitting the pads, but it's not sort of quantizing it, so there's no quantized value, and it sounds off. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to press Shift, and I'll press the top click right here where it says undo. I'm going to undo all that. It's undone, right? Now, what I want to do now is go back to Shift. I'm going to press record mode again, and now I want to quantize. See, we're going to quantize and record. So back to here. Oh, right there. So now we're going to quantize this out, make sure it's quantized. And next, I will set it up to make sure we're in quarter notes. Well, that's good. And then, that's good. I'm going to check my grid out. So my grid's based on 60-note values. The arrangement is 1 bar. And then perform is 16-note values. So I want to make sure I'm doing 60-note values totally. And my step here is nudge, which is decent. So let's go back to here. And now I want to record again. Now it's recording properly. Now I like to use this note repeat, which I set up already for 8th notes. I'm going to practice first. It's pretty good. So I'll go to record now, and next I'll hold down the note repeat right here, and I'm going to make sure I got my setup going here for my pad. Press it down. And sort of take out the note repeat. And now we're making a beat up. So this is how I can record live with the machine. I can also test some other sounds out. Pad mode. Okay, add some more parts in there. Now, let me play this pattern back here. And we can see, for example, these lights are lighting up for the sequence. That's 2 bars. And you'll notice here that we have just one audio readout. Now, a lot of times you're going to want to change or fix your pattern. So, okay, I want to, make this lower, make this louder. So here's how you do it. I'll press stop here. And if I hold this down, you'll notice here that this is flickering a little bit, right? And I'm holding down the level button. And that means this is now in user mode for the groups to view the level of each group. Now, if I go to here, now you'll notice I have this button flickering, and you'll notice the first 8 pads are brighter than the last 8 pads. Right? You'll see it more as I hold it down there. And now I'll press play. Play start. You'll notice now we have the drum sounds here. I'll bring the And I can just mix my drums up, get a good drum level. But I only have the first 8, right? Now, all I gotta do is tap on any one of these here. You can see there. Nope, you don't see them, right? What you gotta do though, you gotta press the level down, then hit that, and now we see the last 8. And if I hold the level down again, you'll see the last 8 pads are brighter than the first 8 pads for this pad mode view. That means we can now see the last 8 pads and their levels right here on the Maschine Jam on the touch strips. And once you get your levels right, you want to say, hey, get this here. That louder maybe. Yeah, bring it down some. That's better. And you got it. And that's how you can select the right level and get it for the pads that belong, or the pad mode for the pads that belong in that group. And then you can go back to here. Now group's blinking. I press play. And now all we see here is just the audio level for that group. And we can add our next group in. And that's how it works. Okay, so I've got this first kit here. And let's put this up here. Okay, that's cool. So I'll bring it down. I don't want to hear it. I'll start a new kit right here. So I'm going to press the stop there. I'm going to press the browse button. I'm going to browse from the kit here. I'm thinking I'm looking at something here. I want to check out. Oh, look at this one here. Let's go to here. And I think that kit's in there now, so. I like that kit. It's not too bad. It's good enough for now. So what I want to do next is I want to do a step record lesson. And how you can record using the sequencer and these pads, these 64 pads here, in order to sequence something up, right? So I want to pretty much start from selecting this one group right here, right? I'm probably going to put my first sequence there. And next what I want to do, I want to push and hold down this button right here. And this is my step button, right? And then I can press down either 1 here or 4 or 8 to select how many sounds I want to sequence. I'm going to do just one sound at a time, right? So I press the 1, 4, the 8 to sequence 1, 4, 8 sounds. I'm going to sequence one sound. All right, that's cool. So now I want to sequence one sound, and I know that now that this is going to be 2 bars. Of course, the first group is already 2 bars, right? And I can tell if I go back to here, I go to pattern length. Well, this is 8 bars. See that? No, it isn't. So I want to make it just 2 bars to match the other pattern. Otherwise, so you got to check that always. So you press your shift, and then you're going to press the solo here for the pattern length. It'll stay lit for the pattern length section here. And I see here now we have 2 bars. That's perfect. Now next what I want to do, to create this sequence, I'll press select again with the select right here. I'm going to select the sound I want to use. That's the sound I want to use. See, it's lit now, that sound is. So I go to here, and that sound is lit. Now what I want to do, I want to go in here, and since that sound is lit, I did press select. Now let's see what happens here. Good. So that's lit there, step at it here, and now I can go in here and sort of put some drum sounds in and press play. So see, I've added some drum sounds, and they're all on the beat there, on the one. See that? I can add more here. I'm just adding beats in where I want to put them in. Now I'll go to my snare drum. So stop at the top. Put my snares on the beat where I want to put them at. So you got 2 and 4 now. And I got some hi-hats here, so I press the hi-hat. So set the note repeat. See that? I can note repeat too, see that? But watch, it doesn't record. So be aware of that. So I want to go back to step, and then here. So I'm going to go. So I'm just creating a beat here in step mode. It's pretty simple. Just putting some more stuff in step mode here. Just creating the beat as I go through step mode. So I can go back here. That's the step. This is that step. And I can see the pattern. And what sounds I used. And that's how I can use step mode to create a pattern. Now in this video, we're going to cover dealing with the piano roll and of course the keyboard setup. So here I already have like a sequence going on loaded in. A little sequence, and then here in B we have nothing at all. So you want to load in a keyboard. So we're going to go to browser, of course, and I've got some set up here already, as you can probably see. And to get here is pretty simple. As we showed you before earlier, you just want to go to keys. Then we're going to go down here to a type, which you already did. We got piano, of course. Then we go here, we got electric piano. And then all you did was go over here. And we picked the sound out already. Now, once you pick a sound too, you may want to keep it, make it a favorite. And you'll notice here that we have the ability to do that. You see the little star, which is to the immediate right of the name. So what I would normally do here is I would just hold down the shift key and then push the encoder. And now that is added to my list of my favorites. See? So before it was in, I just took it out. So it's just in now, out, in. Once I see the star, I know it's part of my favorite list. So I want to load it. To load it, it's very simple. Of course, we push down, and now it appears in this group, or it will once it does load up. It'll be in that first sound slot in group B. Now once it's there, I'll probably go to here to pad. And I see that one sound right there. Now to make it into a keyboard sound, I'll normally just go here to shift, and instead of going to pad mode, I go here to keyboard mode, and now we'll see everything in blue now here represents those keyboards. This is all in C. And you can tell such by just putting your finger right on top of this encoder right here, and you'll notice that it says C3 is the root, it's chromatic type, and then it says the mode is off for chord there, right? So that means this is just like a piano would be. And this represents the root of the note. So every time I change the root, when I come here, I can change the root of that note, which there is C, to anything that I want to. I can click in here, I can make it D, or C, let's make it D. Go to here, and that's D. I'll click here again, and I'll go back down to where I really wanted that is C. I can even make it into a scale, for example. If I want to start making harmonies, I don't want to go chromatic. I just want to make it just a major scale. I go here, and now watch it. See, this all changed now. So now it's just going to give me the scale notes. I'll go from here. And those are all the octaves where you see these white keys. So you can create your scales so that way it's easier for you to play music. You can make up every note is in key of that major scale. Okay, so now we've got our scale set up. So I'm going to play this beat back from the top. Good. So I go to here, and what I've done, I figured out the key here. This is an F minor. So it's pretty simple, right? You can get into it, you can play it, you're in that key, you figure it out, and this is the beauty of using the Maschine Jam. Once I know my key, I set the key up here and it's good. Now also, you'll notice here, these keys are all lit up except for these three here. I can go down here again, or go up further, and now less keys are lit because I'm going up higher in the key range. I can go further down here, I'm lower in the key range, see that? So, we can see the range of this particular sound. And this is of course based on here. I'm in C there, right? So I'm going to go back to here. I want to make it in F. F's the key I want to be in. See that? Let's record something real quick, make it real simple. This is pretty cool. And put something else in there. And that's how you do it. It's that easy. So now I have a pattern. Play start. Let's go from shift and press restart. Sort of a backwards melody, but this is just for demonstration. So now I'll press play to stop it again. Now, sometimes I want to just see the piano roll, not just the keyboard. So you can always record using the piano roll. So we'll go back here to shift. I'll select piano roll, and now you'll notice here some of these buttons are on or off, right? You can see right here. And these represent the notes at that time and place. Now, for example, I go to here, that's the first step. Here's the second step. See it change? Here's the third step. It changed again. Here's the fourth step. Nothing there. The fifth step. We have 5 notes. The sixth, 2. The seventh, 1. The eighth, 2 notes. Now I can just press play. And eventually, you're going to see the playhead go past here. See, there it is right there. That's it. This means our machine is static. And you'll notice that here, that step number 7 is on. The rest of them are off. I go to here, that's step number 6, right? But 7 here is on, right? So what I can do to make this easier is I'll press, let's see, shift and then this. And then I should be able to press play. And now it'll scroll along with the music. And you can see the notes as they go by. Those 2 notes. So that's 2 notes that sounded? Stop that. I just put 2 notes in as you saw that, which is kind of like callous, but just doing something here to show you that we can add notes, and I can add a bunch of those root notes in here and then take it from here. See it? Well, they went in right there. See, it just stopped. I can go back to here, press shift, and select this one again and go. And I'm right there, so I go back to here actually, and we should be in that. Oh, here we are. There we go. And so I see my notes are right there. So let me go back down, up a step. There we go. Up and down a step here. And I could see, as I go down, I could see where those notes are. And you'll notice that too on your keyboard, on your computer. And that's a great way for us to check out how to use piano roll to insert steps into our program.